Hello and welcome to Daily Market Movements. Welcome to another episode where today we're going to be looking solely at the NASDAQ 100. The big day has finally arrived. There's a large major economic event happening today, and of course that is the Fed minutes. We had the Fed yesterday meet up, and they've been planning for the announcement that's going to come later on today at 7 p.m. UK time, and it's going to be a massive catalyst for the markets going forward, because the next Fed minutes meeting is in March, so we don't have one in February. So for the next 2 months, potentially, this could be what sends the market either towards the upside or the downside. It is a huge meeting. We've had banks come out this past week saying that they expect anywhere between 4 to 6 interest rate hikes going into 2022, and that's due to the fact the Fed needs to combat inflation. Inflation is very, very deadly for the economy, and it needs to be sorted out as soon as possible, really. Otherwise, it really will have a negative effect on companies and consumers. The good news is that I am anticipating this Fed minutes meeting to be a huge catalyst for the markets to move towards the upside. Now, this isn't financial advice. I'm using my videos here on YouTube to share my own opinion on the markets. But if I had to choose one, it would be that I personally believe that we are going to see a massive surge in the indices today. I really like the NASDAQ 100 down at these low levels. We formed that beautiful looking hammer candlestick on Monday, where we had a record comeback where the NASDAQ 100 was down 4.9% and we ended up 0.63%. I'm sure you've heard it and seen it all before on the news, but that's just something that I want to point out. You know, normally I come onto these videos and I kind of look at the markets from a technical perspective, but today it's going to be more fundamental. But there are a few key technicals that I am looking out for. Of course, we had that swing low on Monday that we achieved, which was all the way down at 13,700. As well as that, we have the RSI, which is considered to be oversold, as we are below 30. We currently have a reading of 29.69. I openly come out on Monday evening and I posted a video on YouTube where I have claimed that for me, the bottom was that swing low that we achieved on Monday. I personally do not believe we're going to be trading any lower than 13,700. That being said, I would not be surprised if we did go and have a double bottom and retested that as the new support, and then eventually work our way back up towards the all-time highs here for the NASDAQ 100. But when I say work our ways back up towards the all-time highs, I am not expecting a V-shaped recovery. We've pretty much entered a correction phase here for the NASDAQ 100, where at one point we were down 18%. So we were knocking on the door for a bear market correction. So by all means, the NASDAQ 100 isn't going to have a V-shaped recovery. It's probably going to take some time for us to work our way back up towards those all-time highs. Typically speaking, I found this stat for you all. Typically speaking, once you enter into a 15% correction phase or more, so between 15 and 20%, it takes on average 4 months to return back to those all-time highs and to return into that bull run. So it's going to take some time here for the NASDAQ 100, but nevertheless, I personally believe that over the past 3 weeks since we started 2022, we have oversold towards the downside. As I just mentioned a few moments ago, the NASDAQ 100 was down 18.59% in 3 weeks. That's a rapid decline for only 3 weeks. So this tends to happen quite a lot. We've oversold towards the downside. My indicators are screaming at me right now saying that the NASDAQ 100 is oversold and that we are due a bounce. So what I personally believe is going to happen over the next couple of days is that the Fed minutes will happen later on this evening. I think that Jerome Powell is going to strike a much more dovish tone, as I do not believe the Fed will hike 4, 5, or 6 times. I think we're going for 3 times. And at worst case, maybe 4. But at this moment in time, there are many tensions out there. We have Ukraine and Russia, and that could be a potential massive political war between the European Union, the US, and Russia. And of course, we also have high tensions in the Middle East, with Yemen sending drone missiles into the United Arab Emirates, and apparently this is funded by Iran, so that could escalate to be, not a war, but again, political tensions. So with that being said, I do not think that Jerome Powell is going to feel comfortable hiking 4, 5, 6 interest rates. And of course, we still have COVID, guys. COVID hasn't disappeared; it's still here. Yes, the new variant isn't as deadly as the previous one, but who's not to say that we could get a much more deadly variant tomorrow? And of course, COVID numbers in Europe are still very high. So Jerome Powell kind of has his hands tied. He can't really go out and hike 5, 6 times in such a short period of time, because that would then have a massive damage on the global economy and the global recovery with regards to this pandemic. So I personally think Jerome Powell is going to come out later on this afternoon and strike a very dovish tone. And as I just mentioned, we've oversold towards the downside over the past 3 weeks. And I think going forward, we now might overbuy towards the upside. So we could see a move above 15,000, maybe even higher. And then eventually we might come down. And there's always that potential that we could come and do a double bottom, but I think it's going to take some time for us to, achieve 16,000 and higher. So I do see a fantastic buying opportunity going into the markets today. I announced on Monday that I went shopping in the US stock market. I bought shares in Nvidia, AMD, Microsoft, really high-tech quality names with good strong balance sheets. And that's also what I was about to say, that Microsoft reported their earnings yesterday and they had fantastic numbers. If you would have heard me say in my video that I posted last night on YouTube that I was fully anticipating Microsoft to have a very strong quarter, and that's exactly what they had. And it's very positive to see that Microsoft share price at this moment in time, pre-market, is up 2%. And Microsoft has a massive weighting in the NASDAQ 100, as it is a $2 trillion company. It's the second largest company in the world. And it's very positive to see that stock is up 2%. And of course, that will drag the NASDAQ 100 up along with it. So very, very positive going into the Fed minutes later on this evening. I am fully anticipating a surge in the indices for us to recover, not most of our losses, but some of our losses that we have had over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Of course, I'll post a video later on this evening giving you all an update, but I am long for the NASDAQ 100. I think right now is the perfect opportunity to buy. And that is going to wrap it up for today's video. But just before I let you leave, I just want to quickly show you our brand new streaming service. We've recently launched this website that you can see in front of you. This is where we provide in-depth analysis videos as well as trading signals via our Telegram group chat. Once subscribed, you'll then have access to all of our in-depth analysis videos as well as access to our private Telegram group chat. We cover various markets such as commodities, US stocks, indices, and cryptocurrencies. We also have a video category where we provide educational content so that you can improve your trading skills. If this sounds appealing to you, then you can find our website link in the description of this YouTube video at dailymarketmovements.com. If not, then I would just like to take this time to say thank you for watching today's YouTube video. Please give my channel a subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you again soon.